Dontaesboxingnation, what's going on, guys? So do you guys remember when Canelo Alvarez was being promoted by Oscar De La Hoya, and Oscar De La Hoya, he would come out defending Canelo Alvarez for avoiding everybody at 154 or 160. But there came a time when even Oscar De La Hoya, he would say things to hint that Canelo Alvarez, he needs to fight against a Demetrius Andrade at 154, against a Jamal Charlo and Demetrius Andrade at 160. Oscar's exact words back then was, if Canelo Alvarez wants to be one of the greats, he's going to have to fight the likes of a Demetrius Andrade and a Jamal Charlo. Now, keep in mind, this is when Canelo Alvarez was at 160, and Canelo, he said that he wanted to become undisputed at 160. But he said this before Andrade became a champion at 160 and Jamal Charlo became his mandatory at 160. So once Andrade and Jamal Charlo crashed the party at 160, this is when Canelo Alvarez conveniently changed his mind and no longer cared about being undisputed. That's when he moved up to 168 and went after all the C-level white/European fighters to become undisputed. I bring all this up to tell you guys, or remind you guys, that I used to tell you all the time back then when Oscar was promoting Canelo Alvarez, that he really wants to come out and expose Canelo Alvarez for who he really is. But he couldn't do it back then because he was promoting Canelo, obviously. I said to you guys, there's going to be a time when Oscar De La Hoya is no longer working with Canelo Alvarez, and that's when he's going to do a complete tell-all. And that is exactly what he's doing every day now. And you guys can't say, oh, he's just saying this because they don't like each other. That's not true, because he doesn't like Floyd Mayweather, but Oscar De La Hoya, even though he disses Floyd Mayweather, he always puts respect on his name when it comes to what Floyd Mayweather has accomplished in the ring. He always says that Floyd Mayweather is the best to ever do it. He's the greatest of all time. And you seldomly ever hear that kind of praise from an arch rival. What I mean is, Joe Louis, he never called Muhammad Ali the greatest. Roberto Duran or Tommy Hearns, they didn't call Sugar Ray Leonard the greatest. That is a stark contrast from what Oscar De La Hoya is doing when it comes to Floyd Mayweather. So when it comes to Canelo Alvarez, I like the fact that Oscar De La Hoya is probably one of the only Mexicans that is not staying on Mexican code to try to defend and protect Canelo Alvarez no matter what he does. For example, Jose Benavidez Sr., David Benavidez's father and trainer. To a certain extent, Sr. would still stay on Mexican code to kind of defend Canelo, despite Canelo disrespecting their whole family and avoiding his son. He would still say stuff like, Canelo, he's the best fighter in the world, and he's reached the point to where he can fight whoever he wants to fight. And he's willing to stay on code even though they want to fight him. But that's not Oscar. In Oscar's recent video that he put out about Canelo Alvarez, or mainly about Canelo Alvarez, he said a lot of things that were true, but there were some things he said that I slightly disagree with. Let me play this clip.
Hey again, it's your favorite time of the week again. It's time for the only segment in boxing that gives you the facts and makes you laugh. It's Clapback Thursdays. The boxing news is still slow this week, but as always, I got creative because I realized it's the best part of your boring week. So let's go! Okay, so we're a week away from the boxing match that nobody asked for, right? And the UFC event that everybody will be watching. Canelo's fighting Berlanga, another snooze fest. They're trying to sell a pay-per-view for $90 and $500 minimum in person. It's just robbery at this point to pay for another lame Canelo fight that always goes the distance against a subpar opponent.
While it is true that Canelo does usually go the distance with subpar opponents, Berlanga is even weaker opposition than Jaime Munguia and John Ryder was. So there's no way this fight is supposed to go the distance when you look at Berlanga's history. This man has been knocked out and hurt really bad multiple times in the amateurs. Honestly, this fight shouldn't go past 3 rounds. At least it's not supposed to when it comes to this level of opposition. Now, Canelo Alvarez has gone the distance in his last 5 fights. When it comes to fighters like John Ryder, Jaime Munguia, and a 40-year-old Gennady Golovkin, we know for a fact If Crawford was fighting against those guys, I'm talking about they're naturally the same weight, Crawford would have knocked them all out. But Canelo, he couldn't do it.
I'll actually be attending the UFC event at the Sphere instead. So now, I love the sport of boxing more than anything, and I will be watching boxing matches anywhere and anytime, even if it's a simple sparring session or two bums fighting in the street. So the idea I'm choosing to attend the UFC and support Dana White instead of Canelo tells you everything you need to know. Dana, I can't wait to see you next Saturday, buddy. I see that you got the same ab surgery I got. I always knew you wanted to be like me, bro. It will be great to hang out with you face to face. Let's go!
Let me close out by saying this. I don't believe that the UFC is going to do better numbers than the Canelo Alvarez fight. But at the same time, I don't believe that Canelo versus Berlanga is going to be a success because it's still a fight that no one asked for. But with that being said, boxing in general usually does better than UFC pay-per-views. Not to mention, if Canelo Alvarez's pay-per-view numbers are low, they're not even going to be reported. You guys have to understand, when the only people that's talking about the pay-per-view numbers are people on Twitter, or you Google Canelo Alvarez pay-per-view numbers against Berlanga, and the only thing that pops up is Reddit or some boxing forum, that means they don't have official numbers. When a pay-per-view is extremely successful, they usually report the numbers very early, and it's on every major boxing website. Not just, once again, some random guy saying these are the numbers on the internet. With that being said, I'm gonna wrap this video up. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, I'm Brianna,
And I'm Akira,
and you're watching
Dontaesboxingnation.
That was good.
All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, fever blisters, diabetic ulcers, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called LO Decay Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to lodecay.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram. Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com.